To win this tournament, you know, would be a dream to propel them into a full-time fishing career.
There will be only one champion.
They know, for guys that intend to make a career out of it, what this tournament can do for them.
$100,000 is what it does, and the chance to put a career on the fast track. All it takes is 5 solid fish a day here on the Mississippi River. Well, hi, and welcome to one of the greatest events in all of fishing. It is the All-American. I'm Tommy Sanders. We're here in LaCrosse, Wisconsin on the Mississippi River. Actually, we've been here a couple of days. We started out with 50 anglers who toiled their way through as many as 6 or 7 regional and district tournaments to earn the right to fish in this prestigious event. Most of them taking time off from their regular jobs to fish this circuit here. And now we're down to 10 finalists who will fish for the $100,000 first prize out of a total purse of over $250,000. This is arguably one of the most beautiful stretches of the Mississippi here. Plenty of fish here, largemouth and smallmouth. Plenty of ways to catch them and plenty of places to catch them. But in order to get to some of those places, you have to go through what our colleague Jerry McInnes is going through right now. And Jerry, we'll just let you explain where you are.
Well, Tommy, I'm sitting down here at lock number 8. I'm probably 15 minutes from you there at LaCrosse. I'm right across the street from Minnesota and about 5 miles above Iowa. Obviously, below me here is pool number 9, and these are problems. Sometimes locks and dams can be problems to a fisherman, and boy, our fishermen are coming downstream right now. We have Kim Carver, Mike Felderman, Curtis Samo. 3 out of the top 10 are going to hit this lock, are hitting it right now, and going to lock down into the next dam. Obviously, the fishing, they think anyway, is a little bit better below here, and it may be, the largemouth fishing may be just a hair better than the smallmouth fishing. But we got a lot of excitement beginning to happen here.
Could be some real excitement, some real drama on the way back. They could run into trouble in that lock and possibly not make it back for the weigh-in, right, Jerry?
Well, you know, right now it's going to be pretty slick going through there. Boy, they've already pulled the chain. Things are kicking in. It might take them 15 minutes to go through here, no problem. But man, one of these barges, a lot of barge traffic on the river now, one of these barges could get in the lock, and it could take an hour. It could even take 2 hours to possibly get through here. I don't know if we've ever fished an event where it was so even from first place to 10th place, so getting stuck in one of these locks could just devastate your chances.
Well, head on back now, Jerry. We'll get this thing started with, as you said, one of the tightest top 10 fields we have ever had in the All-American. Kim Carver leading the pack with 22 pounds, 8 ounces. But look at this. Chris Baldwin right behind him with 21.9. Sam Henry, 21.8. Sterling Williams, 20.11. Man, it is tight. Curtis Samo in 5th place with 20 pounds, 3 ounces. They're followed up by Bob Dillow, Steve Floyd, Mike Felderman, Skeet Reese, and Steve Henrick. You can look at those weights and tell for yourself. Any one of these 10 anglers has a chance to win the $100,000 top prize here in one of those prestigious fishing tournaments in all of America, the All-American. The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Walmart. Always low prices, always Walmart. By Evinrude Intruder 150 with fixed fuel injection. By Uniroyal, driving dependability home. And by Land O'Lakes. The good things in life never really change. One of One of the best-known fishing tournaments in all the world. This is the All-American. We're at LaCrosse, Wisconsin on the Mississippi River. And like a lot of river fishing, especially in bass tournaments, a lot of it doesn't take place on the open water. It has to do a lot with the backwaters, the cutoff lakes, the feeder creeks, and so forth. And that's where we are headed right now, right behind Curtis, Samo, and Skeet Reese.
Tommy, a lot of these guys will fish the main river, the rock piles, and the rock jetties for smallmouth, but most of the fishing will be done back in these creeks and these little cutoffs, especially when they start fishing for largemouth.
Oh,
Kim Carver is one of the guys who's fishing the open water right now. He's waiting for his second lock to open up and make it good use of his time.
Well, all he's got to do, I guess, is hit 5 locks, and he'll have a limit.
That's right. He just keep going.
That is a real bonus to a guy who maybe has an hour and a half to go to get to his fishing, to catch one while he's waiting. Like I said, most of the smallmouth will be caught out or around the main river.
Yep, that's one right
and
there.
There are a lot of smallmouth up there.
Mike Felderman is definitely off the main river. If he's on the main river, we're all in trouble here. Look at that now.
Well, you know, the water up and down, and these guys are obviously not as familiar with the water as they should be. They just haven't had that experience up there, so they're gonna run into troubles from time to time. And Reese is in a spot he is familiar with.
I know between Samo and I, we've taken quite a few fish out here the last few days, but I know they're still in here. There ain't gonna be a limit in here for either one of us, but might be able to get a couple of them.
What these fish are doing in here, they were spawning, and now most of them have spawned out and catching a lot of buck bass or garden fry. And if you hit the right spot where their fry is hanging under a patch of weeds or something, they'll usually hit it. But you got to put it in the right spot.
Reese and Samo fishing in the same little area, and you know, I guess that's not too bad, because in the days leading up to this, there's been more than one boat in these places, or more than 2 people to deal with, and so the thing to do is to just really concentrate on your fishing and don't worry about the other guy.
Oh, son of a gun. Head him on. Seems like that's been the problem a little bit in the morning, is they just kind of nip at it. They don't really take it that well, and I've lost several good fish first thing in the morning.
What we just saw there, Jerry, is one of the things that hurts these tournament anglers the most, is missing a fish. It shouldn't hurt them, but it really tends to play with their minds.
Well, if you're going to fish with a topwater bait, you have to expect to lose a few fish. You're just going to get some hits, and there's another good fish, and he lost him too.
Man, you hate to see that.
Man, you have to expect that and be very patient, though. It'll work out.
That's 2 and about 3 casts.
Well, Curtis will have to put that behind him. We go out now to Mike Felderman. Mike's from Galena, Ohio. He's works in an automotive tire factory, I believe, as his day job, but he sure would like to do this fishing all the time. So would all these guys.
Yeah, I remember him from last year.
Yeah, he was in the All-American last year.
Absolutely. He's a really good fisherman, and you're right. He wants to make a career out of this so bad. And obviously, the All-American is a springboard, has been a springboard for a number of prominent anglers today, names that you know of, like Shaw Grigsby, Stephen Browning, and all those
Rick
guys.
Clunn won the All-American as well. Yes, sir.
David Fritz was an All-American fisherman, and that's where these guys started from.
Kim Carver's boat right here. He's gotten through the lock apparently, and he's making his way to his final destination. Watching the 1998 All-American Tournament. Kim Carver right there from Milledgeville, Georgia. And he's back up off the river a good ways in one of these creeks.
Man, you know, I think it's overlooked by everybody, maybe even you and I at times, how accurate these guys cast and how accurately they flip, and everyone just takes that for granted. These guys are really good at that, and you don't get where they're at unless you have that going for you.
Kim was in the lead with about 24 pounds after catching that first fish out there waiting to get through the lock, and now he's solidifying his lead right now. That looks like that one may keep. He's going to measure it, though, it looks like.
Boy,
I think this one's going to make it.
Well,
He doesn't think so. He looks good to me.
It's a fat little guy, isn't it?
Not long enough, though.
There are some nice fish up here in Wisconsin on the Mississippi River. Some great smallmouth and largemouth.
Take a trailer and put on there, and we should be ready to go.
Mike Felderman. Got a little combo working there, huh, Jerry?
Fishing with fishing with just one blade on his spinnerbait. His hands got the head covered up, so I can't really say what weight that is, but I bet it's not too heavy because he's fishing in shallow water and is obviously trying to find a target to throw to.
Should be one right there.
God,
Well.
Tom, there's nothing to this.
Man, oh, man. Called it like Babe Ruth calling that home run there, didn't he?
That's great.
Really something.
Now, these fish
Oh,
have
man.
to be 14 inches long. And, Tommy, there's no culling
Right there.
No culling in this trip.
in the state of Wisconsin. There's
Right.
no culling. If this fish was too short and you put it in his box, of course,
Well,
he'd
they
be
can make
legal with it, but he would not be able to get rid of it later on in the day.
He's going to make it.
Man. Two fish that look good to me, and they're both gone back in the water.
Back on that topwater,
Oh, yeah, back to
There's a
Curtis.
lot of
That's right.
fish in here. Skeet Reese, the other competitor that's in here with me, he got a limit in here the first day, but yesterday I come in here in the morning and I had it all to myself and got a limit right away, and I talked to him later in the day and he said he come in here and got a few more and lost a few, so there's a lot of fish in here, but they've been getting a lot of pressure. It's a small area, so hopefully, I don't know if we'll get a limit out of here today, but it'd be nice to get a few fish out of here. I got one other spot, or a good spot, that I got a limit out of the first day. And hopefully I can go there, catch some fish. But yesterday it was kind of slow over there. I only got one bite, so I don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna swing him in, so be careful. Thank you, Lord. Please go, please bump.
Well, she's rolling around the bend there, but we got fishing going on here. This is our first look at Chris Baldwin. Chris is from Lexington, North Carolina, and I know, Jerry, that's a big town for fishing and
Well,
anglers.
you better believe it. I think our tournament director, Charlie Evans, was coming in on a train right there.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm not
Well, I
really
thought
sure.
that was his flight we just saw up there.
In this beautiful country, though, man, you just you think of the Mississippi River, you don't think about it being quite this
that's good.
wonderful.
Really is pretty, the big
And then
bluffs.
to be able to catch nice smallmouth like Chris Baldwin's doing here,
Is that a smallmouth?
you betcha. He's lost it.
No, I think
It's in the boat.
he looks like he saw one swimming alongside that
I
one he was
think
pulling
so.
in there. That's what
I just missed.
Well, as you know, all these guys from Lexington, North Carolina love to fish crankbaits, but Chris is throwing worms and jigs for the most part up against those rocks.
This week on the Walmart FLW Tour, we are featuring the All-American Tournament, one of America's oldest, most revered fishing tournaments. Right there, you're looking at Sam Henrick from Murray, Kentucky. He's one of the guys who is most excited to be here. He may be more excited than any other angler to be in this place.
My name is Sam Henry. I'm from Murray, Kentucky. My wife's name is Carla. This is what I want to do for a living, so that's why I'm here. I work just enough to make my next entry fee. I want to fish. That's what I enjoy. You know, the money's nice, the competition is great. That's what I thrive on. 'Cause I just like to fish. So I fished with a camera boat today, first time in my life. And we got some great film. Some of it I hope don't make it, but you know, I just had a blast. This whole week, this whole experience has just been unreal. It's folks like that right there, those two little gentlemen right there that we're out here being role models for. And that's what you've got to think about all the time. If you can help them out, you're helping yourself out and everybody else. You know, it's really good to see two kids like that already out fishing. Shoot, they're already out on their own. You know, I started competing when I was 14 in a club, had my dad taking me to every meeting and every tournament. I had a 14-foot John boat, 2 oars, and a paddle. When I got a trolling motor, there was no holding me back. We've come a long way from there, and I'm not so sure I'm better off, but I've come a long way. Uh-oh. Come off. I'm not sure it was a bass, but it was a good fish. You know, if lost fish cost this tournament, you know, that's just the way it's going to go. But, you know, I lost it probably the first 2 days instead of today. Uh-oh. Stay hooked up. What are you? What are you? Not acting very bassy. And not acting very pikey either. Actually, it's not even acting alive.
Well, it could be any one of a number of things. We've seen a lot of big catfish up here, lots of what we call grinnell. They call them dogfish up here, or bowfin. Just about anything could pop up out of the water at this point.
And you know, a lot of these southern fishermen get a
big pike.
big pike.
Okay.
A lot of these southern fishermen
Look at that sucker on that.
get a kick out of catching these fish that they don't normally run into.
Now he's acting
And
alive.
wasn't that some nice things that Sam was saying about the kids fishing?
Absolutely. He saw himself in that boat, didn't he?
Off.
This is a pretty good pike.
Look at that. That ain't a... What is that on
You know
him?
what? I'll bet that's the same fish. You know, he had a strike right before this. I'll bet anything it was another pike.
pike.
It most likely was the same pike, I would think.
About a foot longer than
Apparently
that.
they like
up
the
there in
crankbaits,
Alaska,
huh, Jerry?
up there in pre-practice.
Pike like anything.
here.
They just like to
Don't
play.
break that.
Yeah, they do, apparently.
They have a good time.
Golly.
Hey, what? If you're looking for a place for a pike
That didn't
tournament,
work
this
out,
might
did
be
it?
it.
No, they're very, very aggressive. Obviously, they're even more aggressive than a bass.
Whew. That got my nerves going a little bit. Because they're eating the same thing the bass are.
This is my style right here. Up on the banks in inches of water. I love having something to throw at. I don't know, it just makes it a lot more exciting because a lot of times I'll see the fish actually run up and grab the bait. Saw one yesterday, I was flipping, and he hit at my bait 3 times before he ever took it. I kept watching him. He'd run out from underneath the log and turn sideways. I'd see the big white flash. Nothing. Move it a couple more times, he'd run out at it again, and finally, you know, he ran out and grabbed it. But, you know, that was exciting to me, so just to be able to watch that. It's supposed to rain today. Look how fat that fish right there is. And as good as being fat, look how long he is. Well, they're not big, but they're keepers.
not counting Sam Henry's pike there, so our man from Milledgeville, Georgia, Kim Carver, still in the lead, but all these guys are looking in every nook and cranny to find enough bass to win here at the All-American. Stay with us.
I'm fishing for $100,000, but a day like this, for him, probably doesn't come every day of the year, so I hope he catches a couple big ones too. This kid ain't making my job any easier.
No! That ain't fun, is it? I lost a couple myself already.
I was getting ready to go down and lip them, and I'll swing them. I've been trying to catch that one for 2 days. Now today makes 3, and
That kid mess you up a little bit?
Tell you what, Jerry, why don't you and I go get a boat, and we can get out there with all the rest of those folks.
Right.
There's not enough boats out there.
Well, they
right
need
now.
a traffic cop, it looks to me like.
Here's Bob Dillow. Bob Dillow, who has his own TV program back in Ohio, I think it is. He's up against the rock jetty there.
He's got to himself, too.
Yeah, luckily.
Those... Doing a little flipping around the boat docks.
Yes, sir.
And
wow.
that's a doggone good fish there. Compared to what we've been seeing, that's probably as good a one we've seen today, isn't it?
Bob Dillow gets himself on the board there and makes up a lot of ground with that nice big fish there. But back out to Kim Carver. Kim has scored early with 2 quick fish, and he's in good shape right now. He's from Milledgeville, Georgia, on Lake Sinclair. Lots of tournaments there, and he's really honed his skills there.
Skills is exactly right. I want to have you watch his casts now. Watch for 3 things. He's throwing at targets, and his accuracy is great. The second thing is right there, how nicely he drops the bait into the water. And then a fish could be sitting at that stump, and your first cast didn't interest him, so you throw back at another angle and get some interest from him. He can also just stop that bait in midair and just drop it into the right place.
We came all the way down here for the one that lives right over there.
Tommy, they don't need you or I here.
They're calling it for.
Yeah.
Is this the new thing in fishing?
Oh, yeah.
You call your fish. It's like 8-ball now. You call which pocket you're going to make in. Now, he pointed just to the left over there. We'll see if he can pull it off this time.
How about
I
that?
don't believe it. What's he doing?
And I don't think this is it.
I think that he was looking for a bigger fish over there, but man, this is a dandy. It looks to me
not
like.
bad.
This
I
is
bet he'll
not the
keep
one we
it.
came after. Or we'll check it.
Boy, is my eyesight gone wacky. Why does he have to check that?
It looked plenty long. Back out to Chris Baldwin now, and he's got something going on. Still up against that bank.
Good, he ain't hooked good neither.
Boy, you can tell the different contour and the different banks that the smallmouth live on as compared to where the largemouth normally live on. You know, you're liable to catch a largemouth against this old rocky bank, but most likely every tap you get over there is going to be from a smallmouth bass.
This must be a good one. He is taking Chris on the grand tour of that boat there. He's going
Hey,
all
we've
the way
had
around.
some 3 and 4 pound fish taken this week, smallmouth. And so those big old brownies are available up in this part of the country.
Big fat one.
Most of these fish are trying to spawn, but the largemouth and the smallmouth. So they are going to be in smallmouth, in shallow water, and the smallmouth are so tuned in
A little hand from
Holy
the,
cow,
from the
how about
gallery
that?
there. Chris has got some followers. He said he didn't have him hooked good, but boy, it took a lot of time to get him in the boat.
He
You'd think
sure
he'd
did
just
scare
swing
me
him
to
on.
death.
Nice fish, though. The rain is starting to come down with Kim Carver, Chris Baldwin, and Skeet Reese all doing really, really good at this point. Stay with us.
Charlie Evans is streaking to the weigh-in side.
Clear the tracks. The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Enjoy. By Wheaties, Breakfast of Champions. By Fujifilm, you can see the future from here. And by Citgo, when it counts. You're watching the Walmart FLW Tour. In this week's presentation, the All-American 1998 version. We're here on the Mississippi River in LaCrosse, Wisconsin, and we sure have assembled a special group of anglers from all over the country. They've been through a lot to get here. Very arduous tournament schedule, having to do well in many, many tournaments, but they do not mind the effort because they're all here for one thing.
Steve Henrick. I'm 36 years old from San Jose, California. I'm Vice President, Production Manager of a circuit board assembly shop.
My name's Steve Floyd. I'm from Sabina, Ohio. Future fisherman, hopefully. I'm president of a mortgage company.
My name's Skeet Reese. I'm 28 years old. I'm from Cotati, California. This is what I do for a living.
My name is Curtis Samo, and I'm from Creston, Illinois. I'm 37 years old. I'm in construction, and I'm self-employed, and that's why I'm staying self-employed, because it's given me a lot of time to fish and pursue the tournaments.
My name is Kim Carver. I'm from Milledgeville, Georgia. I have a pawn shop, so I get to listen to everybody's problems.
Silicon Valley, that's where we are. They think we're a bunch of nuts with the boats and all the, you know, here you got 10 rods, and they think you're crazy. You know, what's that for?
I'm Mike Felderman. I'm from Glen, Illinois. I'll probably go full-time if I won 100,000. I'll take and I'll bank on that 100,000 and go until that runs out and see if I can make it. If I don't, then I'll go back to working again.
I think I'm a fluke. Skeet's real good.
Probably the most beneficial thing of this is the experience of the competition, the pressure. Everybody's worked hard all year long to get to this point. Tournament fishing is really the easy part, catching fish. You know, the skills that everybody has are very equal. How to win comes down to the mental aspects of the game. In an event like this, learning how to keep yourself in this game at this level is invaluable.
All these All-American competitors are kind of heroes to us because of what they went through to get here, but we got a special hero in the top 10 today, too. And I mean, there is justice in the world when a guy who did what Sterling Williams did can make it into the top 10 as well.
Well, I'm glad about that, because it kind of lets us expose him a little bit, because
he needs to be.
You know, he's a great fisherman, he wouldn't be here, but he's an outstanding individual. And tell us about his award, Tommy.
Well, I tell you what, you and I both read it in the newspaper because it happened in our home state. He was fishing in a red man tournament, came upon two other anglers who had hit a stump in their boat, both thrown into the water. The boat's still running, everything, 50-degree water.
March,
very,
real cold.
Very dangerous situation. And Sterling took the time, took no heed of his own personal safety, and did the rescue there, saved a life. And for that, our hat's off to him already.
Oh, I should say, and he won the All-American Leadership Award from this organization, and I know we're embarrassing the heck out of him, because that's the kind of a guy he is. But
well, maybe that'll get him started catching some fish, right, Sterling?
Man, I hope so. Something needs to get me going.
Well, how's it going out there today? Tell us what the problem is so far.
Well, I'm getting a few bites, but really nothing's, you know, any size to it right now. My sunshine hadn't been here. Maybe it'll be a little bit later on, but I'm still not going to leave. I got all the confidence in the world in this place.
Well, you told us this morning that you knew the fish were there. It's just up to you to catch them, so a little cooperation from the sun, it should be okay?
That's right. Yeah, matter of fact, I've just swapped baits about 3 minutes ago. Right when you guys were calling, I caught one, had 2 more bites, but it's a little bit short. But I think I may be onto a little bit of something different right now, maybe working.
Okay.
Well, what you say you changed from one bait to another just before we contacted here. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I've been throwing a jig and frog and a
and it gets it. I'm flipping all this stuff. I'm not really doing a whole lot of anything but flipping. And I broke my jig off, and I took a half second to look around, and I said, I'm gonna do what we do on some of the lakes in Arkansas with a smallmouth. So I got me a Zoom 6-inch lizard, a cotton candy with a chartreuse tail on it.
Uh-huh.
And so far, the only deer that I fished up there had a fish on it, but it's just this small. I'm fixing to get up to my good hole here in about another 100 yards.
Obviously, you have honed your skills there, being a native of Pine Bluff on the Arkansas River. I want you to compare and contrast fishing on the Arkansas there and the Mississippi up here in Wisconsin.
I don't think there's hardly any difference at all. I mean, it's the same kind of stuff we fish at home, same kind of structure. The water depths are the same. You got current in here. About the only difference is you catch smallmouth.
Yeah, no smallmouth at home.
Yeah. All right, fish on, and it sounds like you got a good long time to fish, and we'll see Sterling right here at the weigh-in. Inspirational story.
Yeah, it sure is, and we are now up on Skeet Reese, who's become a pretty prominent fisherman from out in the West. He's had a lot of success fishing bass fishing circuits all over the country.
I just thought of something. Did you hear Sterling say, my deer fish over there? Did you wonder what he told me what that means. When he gets to a special place where he knows there's a big fish, he doesn't want the other guy in the boat to throw at it. He says, look at that deer over there. Throws it right in there. That's what he meant by deer fish. See, there are a lot of stories here at the All-American that you don't know unless you dig a little bit. We got a lot more to show you. Stay with us. Back to the All-American action here on the Mississippi River, LaCrosse, Wisconsin. Skeet Reese in action again. And Jerry, is he seeing these fish? Is that what he's doing?
He's sight fishing. Flipping right on the beds, or the area of the beds anyway. He's spotting every fish that he's catching. Tommy, look at the deer over there.
What did I miss?
I thought maybe Reese would fall for that, but he wouldn't buy it.
He couldn't hear you. He couldn't hear you. Skeet Reese probably thinking about how well he's doing right now. In fact, he is in our lead as near as we can figure it, 27.5 pounds. Chris Baldwin right behind him with 27 pounds. Kim Carver is right in the hunt there, 25.5. Felderman, 25. Samo, 25. So still anybody's game.
Hey, and I want everyone to understand that we normally, in the FLW Tour, each day they start from scratch. These guys are, good fish right up against that bank. These guys have accumulated their weight, though, for the past 3 days.
Now look at here. Smallmouth back here in inches of water.
Well, Tommy, I told you you'd never catch any smallmouth in that kind of water.
You're absolutely right, most of the time.
That is a dandy fish, isn't it? And when I said largemouth are here and smallmouth are there are always an exception.
Going out now to Curtis Samo, who has achieved a really rare thing here in All-American history. 4th consecutive time to qualify for the All-American. He finished 4th last year, but he's looking for that #1 position this time, right, Curtis?
Yes, sir.
Well, how do you think you're progressing toward that today?
I'm afraid I'm going to need a big fish. I've got about the same weight that I've had the past 2 days, probably 9.5, maybe 10 pounds if I'm lucky, but I'm looking for a kicker right now. I'm fishing some mile markers, hoping to get a big smallmouth.
You've been traveling a lot, Curtis, covering a lot of ground. Have the barges been a problem for you, or have you kind of got them figured out?
No, they've absolutely been a problem. Probably not because there's a lot of barge traffic, but more on the mental side of it, of always having to worry about if there is a barge that's going to be close to the locks. And that just played a part in my decision about a half hour ago to lock through, because I've got some good wood that I'm fishing down south, but I just didn't have enough time, I didn't think, to go fish it. Didn't want to take the chance, and so I came back through with a small limit.
And you can actually see the barges from time to time, can't you?
Yeah, that's yesterday I was fishing about 9-10 miles below the lock, and I went to go fish this wood that I haven't had a chance to fish, and I saw a barge go by, and so it just started playing with my mind a little bit, and I decided to leave and try to beat it there before it got to the locks.
And of course, for everyone, so everyone can understand what you're saying there, is that you see a barge go by you, and suddenly it dawns on that you might have trouble locking back through and getting on time, and it starts blowing your mind, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Curtis, I tell you what, win or lose this time, next go-round, I guess you'll be looking to tie the record for consecutive All-Americans qualified for, and I'm sure you're fired up and ready for that.
I'm sure going to give it a try again. It's a great event. I've had a great time. This is a great fishery, and I want to try to make this a career if I could. But the way I'm going about it is looking at it at just that if I do win this event, it's an opportunity to do what I love to do full time. So I'm not really trying to focus on the dollar amount.
Well, we will hang out here on the stage and see you in just a little while and see if you can make the fourth time the charm. Curtis Samo, what a great attitude. That's it.
Isn't that truth? And you know, we've talked to 3 or 4 of these guys that there's probably more than we talked to that want to make this a career. And these guys are young and very, seem to me very aggressive and really got their stuff together, man.
Mike Felderman has left his fishing place in pool 9. He's still shy of a limit. He's going to motor his way up to number 8, see if he can catch a few more before it's time to go in.
Oh, thank you, bud. Here, don't go nowhere. Got something for you. You ever heard of Terminator titanium spinnerbaits? You never seen them advertised on TV? $10 a piece, they're yours. You're welcome. So do I. Have a good one, buddy.
Tommy, I didn't get one of them. Did he give you one?
I didn't either. Was that the same kid that was fishing out in front of him back up there? That's an awful nice nice gesture if that was the same kid. Now Mike Felderman's got his audience now ready.
That's our crack camera boat in operation, what that is.
Oh, Sands camera. Well, the cameraman is there with Mike back on the jetty.
Right.
I see. Okay, I got you.
Needs this fish real bad. If you're going to compete for the top prize in this event, you have to have a good limit.
Well, boy, that was a good move then to move up to that pool because he has got his limit now, and that's a nice one.
And he's on his way home. He's going to be all right.
Last cast. I gotta throw some rain gear on and beat feet.
Well, it's time for all of us to sort of get things ready. We got a weigh-in coming up here. Great crowd awaiting these guys. There's Kim Carver on his way back. Back at the LaCrosse Center, we're expecting several thousand people for the weigh-in today. Most of them are here and ready to go. Waiting for these guys to come in with their boats. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back with some great stuff.
Well, LaCrosse, Wisconsin is in for an exciting weigh-in here in the All-American, and Tommy Sanders, Charlie Evans about to do the honors. We've already weighed in 8 fishermen. Curtis Samo is on the top, but Chris Baldwin and Kim Carver are just ahead.
A big hand for Chris Baldwin from Lexington, North Carolina. Chris, let's weigh him right now. Chris has had 2 super days here, and right now he needs 7 pounds, 12 ounces in order to take over the lead from Curtis Samo. 7 pounds, 12 ounces is the magic number, so watch carefully here. Fish number 2. Very nice. Smallmouth, man. There's 3. Looking for 7-12.
£9 pounds, 3 ounces.
Your new leader, Chris Baldwin. Big hand for Curtis Samo. How did you prepare for this tournament, Chris?
I come up in pre-fished in April, and really I caught a lot of fish, but I really just wanted to feel the river out and get used to it, so I wouldn't have to run blind when I come here and practice in the official practice.
You've got most of your fishing experience on a very famous lake out in North Carolina, High Rock Lake. A lot of people fish out there, a lot of good fishermen. If you're going to do good out there, you got to be a darn good fisherman, right?
Yeah, yes, you do. I believe it does make a lot of good fishermen because it is so difficult to fish on.
So many different ways to catch fish, being successful at so many of them. That's what makes you a better fisherman, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You got to be versatile. You don't want to get in the zone and stay on the same thing. You've got to change up.
Let's take a look at you out on the river today. Chris Baldwin, everybody.
There he is. Ah, the masses, Basil. Get him on. That's a good one. This is the fish we need. Hell, let's just get in the boat. Ooh! I needed that fish bad. Oh,
A big hand for your new leader, Chris Baldwin. $30 pounds, 12 ounces, Chris Baldwin in the lead. One more angler left to weigh his fish. Let's take a commercial break. The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks. By Everstart, the name says it all. By Spider Wire Super Mono, the meanest monofilament ever made. And by American Camper, the leader in family camping fun. 30 pounds, 12 ounces, Chris Baldwin has the lead in the 1998 All-American. One more angler to weigh in. He was second last year at the All-American. A big hand for Kim Carver from Milledgeville, Georgia, and Lake Sinclair. He was our leader, of course, through the first 2 days of qualifying, and now he needs 8 pounds, 5 ounces. 8 pounds, 5 ounces to win the $100,000. 8 pounds, 5 ounces. Remember that number.
3 pounds, 10 ounces so far.
3 pounds, 10 ounces. He's looking for 8 pounds, 5 ounces to win the $100,000.
Up to the 5-pound range.
Four fish.
7-pound range. A 5 bass limit for Kim Carver. And the weight, 10 pounds even, 10 even.
There's your champion right here, Kim Carver. Bring him up. Bring her up. Who's that we're bringing up here?
This is my girlfriend, Carol Lee Whiteside, and I need my junior fisherman up here, Sarah. Where are you, Sarah?
You're going to get your junior fisherman up here as well, who was fishing with you today, sort of in a way of speaking.
That is correct. She won $1,000 today, and I want her up here to receive this award with me, too.
Well, you should be seeing a big fish from Kim Carver, our All-American winner, but the Fuji flashback today is about the smallest fish of the day.
Here they are. Bring them on up here. Big hand. Okay. We get the whole gang up here. Big hug. Kim, you're from the Bulldog division. I think we're going to start calling you the Bulldog. You got your teeth in real far into this prize. Second place last year. And there's anything about an All-American, a true All-American never, ever gives up, and you sure didn't.
Well, you know, it's kind of special for me to win. There's something that a lot of people don't know that I said a long time ago when I saw what the dates was. Excuse me, but today is my birthday, and I wanted to give myself a birthday present, so.
Happy birthday.
It's the first birthday present I've ever gave myself, and I couldn't think of a better one to have.
It is the best birthday present a guy could ever have, especially an angler. How long have you been fishing, Kim?
Oh, I don't know. My daddy used to take me when I was knee-high, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here right now.
We've all got someone like that to thank. Think about it and tell us how you did it out there today. What mindset did you have going into the last day out there on the Mississippi River? I know you wanted to win. You're the most super competitive person we've ever met out here.
Well, I just went fishing. I had an area that I caught a limit in pretty quick on the first day, and I left. I never made it there yesterday because I caught a limit before I got there, and I just left it alone. I went there today, and I kind of wore it out. I had a limit by like 10 o'clock this morning. Fishing was good. I was doing something that nobody else was doing. These fish up here eat crawfish. And you can ride down the banks, and you see where all the little crawfish holes are, and I was looking for little holes in the bank, and when I'd find a little hole in the bank that had some grass hanging over it, there would be a fish there. And my live wells have been full of crawfish for 3 days.
There's one other thing that's got to make you feel terrific at this point is to think about the 10 guys you fished against and the quality of anglers that you were able to prevail against. That is a really tall order to fill, and I think you can fill us in on that.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, you know, they're all great competitors. Each and all of us deserved, all 50 of us deserved to win because we, you know, had to work real hard. The All-American is for the Americans. I mean, it says itself right there in 2 words, All-Americans. I mean, you know, that's what we all are right here. We're All-Americans, and, you know, it's great to be the winner of it, too.
One more hand for the champ of the All-American, Kim Carver from Milledgeville, Georgia.